Hi, my name is Kimberlee Gill. I'm the Academic Dean of Summit Christian Academy. I'm also representing the Association of Christian Schools International and the Missouri Schools of the Great Plains Alliance of Christian Schools. I'm going to be sharing from some of my research that I did. I finished my doctoral degree in May of 2019, and my dissertation was on school choice. I chose that as a dissertation topic and spent 2 years of blood, sweat, and tears because I had several of my grand students unable to afford my school, and I wanted to figure out a way that could help kids access the best education. All children deserve the American ideal of an education that brings them to their full potential. The first thing to know is that school choice isn't partisan, and it should not be political. It is not about a specific set of policy goals either. Rather, it's about parents making personal decisions for their children. When students are not served within the public educational sector, there's evidence parents cannot access desired educational options for their children due to cost constraints. Given, as at present, that parents can send their children to government schools without special payment, very few can or will send them to other schools unless they too are subsidized. In the 29 states in the District of Columbia, in our great nation, typically, even with school choice, there is never more than 8% of students who are afforded this option. Many states have now determined to create more educational options for students, demonstrating the democratic ideal of freedom of the individual. The core hypothesis behind private school choice is that market-oriented programs will have positive effects on student achievement by A, providing more opportunities for students to attend a high-quality private school, and B, allowing parents to choose the schools that best fit their children's particular needs. This issue is important to all parents who wish to have their children enrolled in schools outside the public sector. My report hoped to find and provide information to support legislators in their quest to introduce and pass school legislation, allowing more students the ability to receive the education they need to be deemed proficient in language, math, and science. Turning conversations to actions, civic leaders must work together to establish educational policies, funding, human capital, access to information, quality options that better align knowledge, skills, and behaviors taught by the education system with the actual needs within a global workforce. Within this report, I listed all of the states with the number of students that are actually being helped. And personally, as a Missouri citizen, I really feel we are behind the 8 ball in this issue. When I look at Illinois serving almost 300,000 students, Minnesota 259,000, Florida 140,000, Tennessee 137, so we could at least do 100. Moving on. The continued process of proposed legislation in the arena of choice demonstrates that this issue is of continued interest across the states. Choice supporters must promulgate that monopoly in any area is not effective. Expanding choice cuts through the accretion of red tape, particularly in urban areas. Choice is not an attack on the public current system, but a new way of looking at options. Critical to this argument is the fact that only the poor do not have access to school choice. Competition should drive innovative choices to schooling and imitation of successful schools. Choice facilitation must strategize to overcome the multiple obstructions to move proposed policy into law. Throughout my report, I go through every argument that is against school choice, having done thorough research on both sides, because I didn't want to stand up for something that would not work for many states. You've already heard testimony that this is a fiscally sound. On a personal note, I can tell you, I became a private school teacher because upon my offer of 5 schools at graduation, I chose to go with the school that had the best mentor. My first year out of college mentor is now a law professor at UMKC. I knew starting in private school that I wanted it for my children. I told you I graduated last May in 2019 at the age of 53 with my doctorate. My son graduated 4 days with his doctorate in law after me. What is the benefit of private school education? For us, 27 years saved on a child's future. Thank you.
Questions for this witness? Seeing none. Anybody else to testify in support?